Well, hello beautiful people, my name is Bridget and welcome back. So today we are doing a very exciting thing because it's something like exclusive, you guys. This is something that was promoted as like limited edition, once this is gone it's gone deal, and a lot of people were hyped about it, and then when we saw the review a lot of people were confused about it. So today we are reviewing the Urban Decay and Prince collaboration. I have the entire collection here. I'm gonna go over each product to let you know what I think of everything. So the collection itself, the vaults of everything, retails for $250. The palettes are $55. The eyeliners are $28 each, and there's two of them. We have a $34 setting powder, a $32 liquid highlighter, a $28 liquid brush, and it's a lot of money, but we're going to talk about this collection. We're going to give you my thoughts. I'm going to swatch everything for you, and let's go ahead and get started. Of course, if you're not subscribed to my channel already, I greatly appreciate it if you did that. And give me a thumbs up this video. It really does help me out. But I am going to judge this off the quality of the products and a quality for the price point. I am not like a super fan of Prince just because it wasn't something I grew up around. And it was really hard as an adult to find his music like on Spotify and stuff. So I'm not like judging it off of like being a super fan. I'm judging this purely off of quality for the price. And I feel like that's the best way to do reviews anyways. So I'm excited to do this for you guys today. And let's go ahead and get started. Alright, hello guys. So no eye makeup on at the moment. We're going to be doing a look together today using this collection. But first I wanted to go over everything that I thought was notable. So let's do that. So firstly, the pressed setting powder, the all-nighter setting powder. This actually deterred me from buying the loose Urban Decay setting powder that just came out, the all-nighter, because this is way too dark for someone of my complexion. Like this is like an all-in-one supposed to fit any body powder. But that's like, this is what it looks like in natural lighting to me. It's way too dark for me. So I will not be picking up that setting powder, which I thought I was going to review for you guys, just because if this is the all-nighter setting powder, it's not a universal tone. So that's a little bit of a deterrent as far as for me. But next up here I want to talk about was the brush. So a lot of people were confused as to why there was a brush for this collection, considering there's not like face products in here like foundation or highlighter or anything. But I wanted to show you the brush anyways. So it's just a flat top kabuki. So it says Urban Decay Prince on it, and it's just a flat top dense kabuki brush for the brush. So it is a multitasker. You can use it for cheeks, primers. I probably, if I was going to use this brush, I'd use it for a primer, like an illuminating primer, because I don't like applying illuminating primers with my hands because my hands get all glittery. Next up is the eyeliners in the collection. These are two things that I was actually excited to try, and then I opened them. So these are the white and the black pencil liners from Urban Decay. Urban Decay usually has like a kind of a gel liner situation, which I love because I have very sensitive eyes for like my waterline, so a gel pencil works better. However, these are pencils, and like if you know the smell, you know the smell. And then I opened the container and they are huge. Like these are enormous. So this is what they look like. So they have a short tip here, and then they're like huge and fat on this end. If we can focus in on this, it's like, this is enormous. This is chunky. Like compared to like a pencil brush, which is like a normal eyeliner size, this is a chunky thing right here. And I'm gonna go ahead and swatch them for you. So this one is the black one. It is called So Dark. It goes on like a regular pencil liner would. It's black, but it's not as soft. So if you have a very sensitive waterline, I'd be afraid of it. It's just a little bit like me, but I'm still gonna use it today. Then we have When Doves Cry, which is the white one, which I was more excited about because I love white eyeliner. And this one is pretty pigmented for a pencil liner. So, and the fact that this is like a huge tip on the end of it, like this is enormous. This could be used all over the face if you wanted to like draw stuff on, because it's like a really big tip on the end. But here are the two eyeliners, a black and a white, very cute, very staple colors, and I think these are really pretty. The next thing in the collection is this body illuminator. This is called the Liquid Face and Highlighter Décolletage Illuminator. Again, way too deep for someone of my complexion. Not complaining, not everything has to be for fair people, I get it. I'm just saying if anyone like me was gonna buy this, this is gonna be way too dark, as you can tell, and it only comes in one color. But if you are a deeper complexion, it'll probably be really pretty. Urban Decay makes some really pretty sparkly products, so that's a good one. And I like a décolletage, like for summer, get like your collarbone and everything all sparkly and pretty. That looks really nice. I actually need to think about like, if I'm gonna go out in the summer, what kind of highlighter I should put on my body, you know? So the stars of the collection that I wanted to show you today are the palettes. So we have the You Got the Look palette right here, which is a black packaging with Prince's logo. And then here is the inside. So we have a mirror on this side his eye on this side, and then here is the colors and the inside of the palette. This one was really pretty to me. I know a lot of people were like confused by the color choices and everything. I'm not like that familiar with Prince's work to judge that, and it was made from people who know him. But I think the color scheme of this one's really pretty. Like, I love like a white shimmer, and I love gold and yellows, and grays, so this one was like really pretty in my eyes. And then this other one came broken, so I did repress it. It's just kind of a mess in there right now. But this one is called the Let's Go Crazy eyeshadow palette, which is a purple one, which is I think what more people were expecting for a Prince collection. It is messy in here because it came broken, but I just repressed it so I could show you guys what it looks like. And here is more of the purpley blue and pink tone eyeshadow palette. So because this one's still drying, I will not be using this one today for the look. I will be using this one, which is fun for me anyways, because this is the one I actually wanted to use, like in the first place. So I went ahead and swatched the You Got the Look palette for you. Here's what the colors look like. So obviously this is top row. When I swatched it, I did it this way, but here's what they look like. So overall, I think the top row, which was like the neutrals and the whites and the gold, was really easy to use and very pretty. This is also like, this first shade is a matte, and it's really great for studying underneath the brow bone if you're gonna do a more complex look. I would say that I wasn't really impressed by the Artist shade, which is this one right here. And on my hand, it is this one. It just came off as kind of like a meh kind of product, or like kind of shade. It was kind of like a soft satin, but not overly pigmented. The purple one in the palette, this has a lot of glitter in it, in this purple shade, so I thought it was a shimmer, but it is in fact a matte, which was just kind of dispersed with some glitter in it. But everything else looks really good. Like, I was really impressed by the last dark shade, which is a matte, but it has like a little bit of a satin finish to it. But overall, pretty good swatches for the first palette. Okay, so here are the swatches for the Let's Go Crazy palette. So this is the top row here, and this is the bottom row. Overall, I would say the purples are very subtle. They're more like a sheer, very glittery, sparkly tone. I expected more of like a punch with them, with the exception of the second to last shade, which was this one. This one actually looks really good. The blues in this palette, like the blue matte and the blue shimmer, very nice as well. They're very, very pretty, and so was the red. But the purples just came off very subtle, very just like a glitter. And then the white shimmer in this palette, When Doves Cry, was way more subtle than the last palette, which would have more like a punch to the white like shimmeriness. This one's more of a just a meh. These are kind of like topper shades to me. I always expect a little bit more of a punch, but I guess if you're not looking to like go overboard as far as color goes, a lot of these shimmers will look beautiful on the lid with one base matte in the crease. So let's go ahead and get started with the eye look now. Alright, so I just primed my lids with the Draw Cosmetics Clean Canvas base in Fair, which left me with a nice tacky base to start off with, and let's go and get started with the eye look. So for this eye look, I'm going to use a simple brush technique, a very simple look, because I like to do looks on my channel that anyone can do. If I can pull it off, you can pull it off, that kind of deal. So we're going to use this double-ended Sigma brush. We have an E38 on this side and E54, I believe. Yeah, E54 on this side, which is like a flat brush we can also use as a shader. So let's go ahead and get started. So for the look, we're going to go into this palette like I said. And what I want to do is I want to start off with the Sexy Dancer shade, which is this one. It is matte. And I'm just going to use the mirror that comes with the palette. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to tap that right underneath of my brow bone just to set that area. But we're going to leave all of this unset so we can add color to it. So if you guys know me, you know my channel, you know I am really into golds and yellows in my eyes. Like, I love those kind of shades. But for the sake of keeping it to these shades that worked a little bit less, or like was a little more unpredictable as far as like when I swatched them and everything, I think we're going to go for a little bit of a darker look. So I'm going to go into Bold, we'll go to Love to the Nines, this one first, which is a simple matte shade. We're just going to base out our crease with this shade. It picked up really well in the brush, so I'm going to tap off the excess. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to tap this pretty high up in our crease just to get something down first before we like start deepening up. So this one's pretty pigmented already. Just gonna make it blend out now. Okay, so here is what the eye look is looking like. We just have a basic color over the crease right now. We're gonna start building up. Now, personally, looking at this color scheme, I feel like you're either gonna go towards like the neutrally or yellowy gold side, or towards more like a gray or purple end. I feel like this red is out of place. However, I really kind of want to use it because it's really pretty when I swatch it out. So for this, I'm just going to So Dark, which is the dark matte in here, tapping on one side of my blender brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start just adding this. We're going to blend it into the crease, but I'm going to add it very slowly so that I don't get overwhelmed by color, because again, I ain't trying to get all muddy, you know? I don't want to cover up the color we already put down. So I'm just slowly adding it up and blending it in. And if you feel like it's like a little hard to blend, hold your brush at the end and it'll help disperse it more. Okay, so I did very lightly start like putting in this dark shade just because I didn't want to be overwhelmed like I said. However, I feel like it could have been punched a little more. I feel like since it's called so dark, it could have been punched in a little more black because every time you disperse it, it does turn very gray, which I didn't mind for this look, but just in case you are looking for like a really, really dramatic moment, I would suggest using a packing motion to pack on the color and then blend it out, but it still could have been punched in a little bit more in my opinion. So I'm going to take this shader brush now, I'm going to take it dry with nothing on it, and I'm going to go into the first shimmer we're going to use, which is Crystal Ball, because this was so, so pretty. And this was the white shimmer from both of the palettes that actually like had some impact. The other one didn't really impress me as much. So we're just going with a dry brush onto our primer on our lid in the first half of the crease. Lid. I meant to say lid right then. So here's what the lid is looking like, if we can get it to focus. It's not very impactful. I mean, you could use a wet brush, but I just wanted to see how it would apply. Dry, also this would probably apply really well with a finger too. But I want to use a dry brush to see how these shimmers perform for the first one. And for the second one, I don't hate this. It's a little more gray than like Sprite White. For the second shimmer, I'm going to use my finger, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into, let's do Bold Generation. Let's do the gray shimmer because it's swatched really pretty. This actually looks darker than the matte, so I'm just going to tap this on the second half of the lid into that crease. I'll take my finger into the Crystal Ball shade just a little bit and just kind of mush them in the middle until they blend seamlessly. Going into the blending brush with no extra product, I'm just slightly blurring the line between the shimmer and the matte so it just kind of just flows together. Now I'm going to the other side of the brush, the shader brush. I'm going to wipe off that Crystal Ball shade, and now for lower lash line I'm going to go into the Love to the Nines shade again, the matte color, just because there is a lot of shimmers in this palette. I didn't really want to add the purple shimmer, purple matte. That's the only other matte in the palette, so we're going to go into the just neutral shade for the lower lash line. Okay, so here's our eyeshadow right now. It's very simple, very basic, but it's kind of just what I felt with that palette rather than going straight up just like yellow gold, which I always do. I just want to do something a little bit different. I feel like the Crystal Ball shade could pop a little bit more, but you could always apply it with a wet brush or your finger. And then the gray matte was like, could have been a little more impactful. However, the gray shimmer was beautiful. It was like really easy to use. So I'm going to go ahead and use mascara now. This is the Act Natural from Colourpop, and then a little bit of the e.l.f. Disco Queen liquid shadow. I'm just going to tuck right in the lower lash line for a little bit of a pop. Okay, so for eyeliner, I'm going to use one of the Prince ones obviously, but I'm going to use the white one because I love white eyeliner. However, I'm nervous because like, again, I have a really sensitive waterline. A lot of pencils do not sit well with me, but this is really jumbo, so I'm thinking I won't get any like pencil shards in my eye. That was actually really not as scary as I thought it was going to be because it is such a jumbo tip on these things. I feel like I didn't have to get near the pencil part of the liner. I'm actually going to take the black one now. And this is something I do sometimes with like a powder eyeliner. Is I'm just going to take it underneath of my waterline. So right into my lashes. I'm just going to take it a little bit and just define the lash line. So my waterline is going to be white. I just add a little bit of definition underneath here. There's none on this side, there's some on this side. I don't know if you can even tell. But I'm just defining the lash line. Alright, so I added some lashes and lipstick, and this is my completed look. So here's the eye look up close. Since the eye look is what we use today, the face stuff would just not work for my skin tone, but this is what the look looks like. I think it actually ended up looking really pretty. I love a black, white, gray kind of moment in the first place. I understand a lot of people are going to expect a purple look in a Prince review. I understand that. However, that one came broken and is still kind of like, you know, alcohol repressed, so I didn't really want to take that risk. And then this palette itself, which was the one mostly featured from Urban Decay on their social medias, there's only one purple shade and it just was kind of underwhelming as far as swatching goes. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me give you my final thoughts on the collection. Overall, the complexion things for a deeper to or a medium to deeper skin tone would work fine, and probably great quality because they're kind of staple Urban Decay things. The brush is kind of cool, but a little bit out of place in the collection. As far as the palettes go, $55 for this very small palette feels a little bit much. Like, it's even more than their Urban Decay Naked palettes, which are full size, like nice plastic packaging and everything. This just doesn't feel like a $55 palette to me, but I get that you're buying the theme and the fact that it's limited edition. This was very originally promoted as a very exclusive, very limited amount of like things. I thought it would be like maybe a $300 or like a 300 or 500 count and to be done with the collection. Like, it makes it seem very exclusive, but the fact that this is going to all of the retailers soon rather than just urbandecay.com does feel like more of a readily available, widely spread thing. So I feel like it was promoted a little bit oddly, and I just feel like the palette for $55 is a lot, but if you love prints, you love the collection, this could be a collector's item for you that I could see paying that price. The pencil liners I was really scared of because, again, very sensitive waterline, and I don't like pencil liners, but these actually performed really well. The fact that it's such, I mean, the packaging is weird because they're very big, but the fact that the tip is so big and like is a really big amount of product showing rather than just like a small piece and some pencil made it safe for my, you know, sensitive waterline. So I appreciate that, Urban Decay. And overall, it was cute. Like, the eyeshadows performed great. Like, of course, a couple things could have been more punched in my opinion, like a little more deeper with the pigment, especially when I swatched the purple palette. But overall, it's not a fail. Like, there's nothing wrong here. I don't have anything to complain about. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think of this collection and this look down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, I'd greatly appreciate if you do that too. And of course, you can check my brand, theopencrypt.com. We have a bunch of new stuff coming out soon. So thank you guys so much, and I'll see you later. Bye.